Barbie!
Hi, Ken.
Dazzlingly pink, carefree, resembling a sweet cotton candy cloud. Barbie, suddenly for many, became the premiere of the year. The reason for its colossal success lies not so much in a brilliant marketing campaign, but in the meticulous work of Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, who beneath the facade of a summer comedy, managed to present to the audience a drama of existential crisis, gender inequality, and the unattainability of ideals. Beneath the frivolous exterior and pop culture references, Barbie conceals inventive cinematographic techniques and nuanced details that are impossible to catch on the first viewing. In this video, we'll delve into how the most talked about film of the year is structured and explain the methods through which Margot Robbie portrays the transformation of a doll into a human. We'll explore why the film incorporates documentary footage and why, despite the perfect Barbie land, there is a yearning to escape from it to the real world.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
Visual style. The film's plot revolves around the perfect Barbie from Barbiland, a utopian world free of problems, where the sun always shines. Suddenly, the doll awakens to self-awareness, and cellulite appears on her legs. To rectify this tragic misunderstanding, she ventures into the real world, making a detour to the Mattel office, the company that manufactures Barbie. Each of the three spaces in the film draws inspiration from distinct sources and possesses its own visual style. Barbiland replicates the toy-like quality of plastic dollhouses. That's why the scale of objects doesn't match real-life proportions, and the rooms lack walls and doors, as dolls lack a sense of shame and have nothing to hide.
I thought I might stay over tonight.
Why?
Because we're girlfriend-boyfriend.
To do what?
I'm actually not sure.
The aesthetics of Barbiland draw heavily from the post-war works of American photographer Slim Aarons. Semi-nude socialites bask by crystal-clear pools. However, much like in the film, they don't exude sexuality, but simply revel in safety and comfort in each other's company. Cinematographer Rodrigo Prieto underscores the innocence and inner emptiness of the characters with frontal lighting, ensuring that Barbie and Ken's faces remain free from shadows. Life in the doll world is so predictable that even the camera moves as though it's programmed for repetitive, identical actions. This is particularly evident in the scene where Barbie descends from her dollhouse. Take note of the smooth camera movement and compare it to the moment when the heroine ceases to be perfect. She literally steps out of the frame, yet the camera seems to overlook it and continues its motion. Despite the whimsical nature of the plastic world, the film uses minimal computer-generated effects. This decision is linked to the fact that the Barbie doll was first released in 1959, and director Greta Gerwig wanted to pay homage to that era by using technologies available to filmmakers at the time. Gerwig was notably influenced by The Wizard of Oz, in which a sense of genuine artificiality prevails. We understand that the sky is painted, but the set itself exists in physical reality. This technique makes the film more tactile, which is crucial for a story about a toy that children are accustomed to touching and holding. An appreciative nod to Victor Fleming's masterpiece can be spotted on the cinema wall. Gerwig's entire comedy is filled with such cinephile references. The artificial sea on the beach references Federico Fellini's And the Ship Sails On. The mirror without glass nods to Jerry Lewis' The Ladies' Man. The winding staircase evokes the Oscar-winning The Red Shoes, and the rich color palette is inspired by An American in Paris and Pedro Almodovar's Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Barbie is in part a musical. During their songs, the characters reveal their inner worlds. While working on the musical numbers, the creators drew inspiration from the golden classics of Hollywood. Films like Singin' in the Rain and The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. The very first disco dance sequence, in terms of atmosphere, evokes Saturday Night Fever. The next location after Barbiland is the Mattel office, serving as an intermediary space that separates the pink artificial world of Barbie from reality. The colors in this space seem to connect to both universes. The boardroom is vividly bright, while the clerical floors are strictly gray. The office is influenced by the film Playtime, a seminal work by French filmmaker Jacques Tati. In this movie, which continues the tradition of silent cinema, the director portrays an ultramodern city that entraps its residents in glass and steel labyrinths. In the real world, where Barbie and Ken find themselves, we immediately see familiar colors and natural lighting. The camera seems to come alive, and its movement, in comparison to Barbieland, is more free and casual, conveying the imperfections of real life. In the most touching scene, which Greta Gerwig refers to as the heart of the film, Barbie, upon seeing an elderly woman for the first time, realizes that beauty is not confined to flawless appearances. It's everywhere.
You're so beautiful. I know it.
The evolving visual style underscores the internal transformation of the characters. At the beginning of the film, all Barbies and Kens behave like children, with exaggerated facial expressions and movements. This is why Gerwig wanted the actors in secondary roles to be dancers.
You know, Greta says, like, you watch an old soundstage musical and like everyone in the background, even if they're meant to be acting casually, it's like they're looking at a hat. She wanted that feeling in Barbie Land.
Every action of Barbie has a clear intention. She is unwavering and doesn't second-guess herself. And only after the thought of death, the doll acquires human features. Margot Robbie portrays this transformation through subtle details. Barbie's speech becomes more measured. She stumbles, hesitates, and her high, slightly unnatural voice becomes slightly deeper.
I'm only your favorite woman of all time, Barbie!
Moreover, Barbie's appearance undergoes a change. Natural hair replaces the inhumanly thick and voluminous wigs, and the bulky, toy-like accessories make way for more elegant ones. Margot Robbie drew inspiration from Katharine Hepburn's performance in the film The Philadelphia Story, depicting an unapproachable, almost goddess-like socialite who transforms into a delicately sensitive woman.
How do I look?
Like a queen, like a goddess.
And you know how I feel.
How?
Like a human being.
In addition, Robbie carefully selected a perfume for Barbie, and the fragrance helped her complete the character and get into the right mindset.
Oh my gosh, I remember this smell. I'm having real Proustian flashback.
The actress also made time to help Ryan Gosling better understand his Ken. Every day, she left him small playful gifts, wrapped in pink paper, such as a seashell necklace or a book about horses. The actor, known for his roles as reserved and tough men, tried to loosen up by taking cues from his impulsive and straightforward children. It was thanks to his daughters, who played with dolls, that Gosling agreed to take on the role in Barbie.
I walk out in the backyard, and do you know where I found Ken, Jimmy? Face down in the mud next to a squish lemon.
And this is the photo. You took a photo of it.
I texted it to Greta, and I said, I shall be your Ken. For his story must be told.
Ryan Gosling managed to turn an initially insignificant character into the most amusing and tragic figure in the film, as his Ken comes to realize that he has spent his entire life as a mere accessory to Barbie rather than an independent individual. Although Gosling's character, being a doll, lacks a sense of humor, he becomes an endless source of comedic moments. Despite its multi-layered nature, Barbie is first and foremost a comedy with a high density of humor. The screenwriters employ various forms of comedy, wordplay.
If I wasn't severely injured, I would beat you off right now, Ken.
I'll beat you off with you any day, Ken.
Physical humor, break the fourth wall.
I'm not stereotypical Barbie pretty.
Note to the filmmakers, Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast if you want to make this point.
And juggle numerous pop culture references, paying homage to 2001, A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick in the very first episode. The creators delved into Mattel's long history, finding unforgettable moments, and didn't forget to poke fun at Barbie's controversial legacy.
She thinks I'm a fascist? I don't control the railways or the flow of commerce?
The main characters experience our reality for the first time, opening the door to observational comedy. Barbie and Ken genuinely marvel at what has long been familiar to us. This simple technique allows the audience to see the everyday world from a fresh, childlike perspective.
You guys are clearly not doing patriarchy very well.
No, no,
We're doing it well. Yeah, we just hide it better.
A recurring theme in Greta Gerwig's film is coming of age and self-discovery. Among her heroines are a rebellious high school student in 2000s California and an aspiring writer in 19th century New England, fighting for personal freedom and the right to publish her novels. In this lineup, the childishly naive Barbie embarks on her literal and metaphysical journey, where Gerwig weaves in several important themes, giving special attention to the issue of gender inequality and giving voice to both sexes. Barbie, raised in a matriarchal utopia, is bewildered to discover that in the real world, she's perceived merely as a sexual object. She can't comprehend why women here don't hold leadership positions on par with men. Furthermore, she finds herself in a caricatured, patriarchal paradise where women have no voice. Barbie is aimed at a mass audience, possibly unfamiliar with feminist ideas. So, the creators clearly and programmatically articulate the underlying meanings in the film.
You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line.
However, for Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, the seemingly perfect Barbiland is not the ideal social structure, as men in it are reduced to the role of beautiful and powerless accessories.
But it's Barbie and Ken. There is no just Ken.
Ken's character arc demonstrates that patriarchy, no matter how initially attractive it may seem to men, also imposes excessive expectations on them, preventing them from truly discovering themselves. Ken goes through a complete coming-of-age journey. Initially, he realizes his power and seizes control, but in the end, he understands that all his destructive behavior was driven by insecurities and self-doubt. In the finale, as Barbara becomes a human, she explains to him that external circumstances don't define him, and it's time to discover who he truly is. The film's humanistic and touching message can be distilled into 3 words on Ken's hoodie.
I want to give people, and girls, but people, a sense of like, you're okay and you have value just as you are. It is not something you earn or you need to achieve.
The phenomenally successful Barbie has become an outstanding example of the balance between creative freedom and corporate constraints. The creators managed to convince the Mattel company to take a risk and finance a meta-ironic film that criticizes corporate capitalism. The producer and Margot Robbie had to fight for even the smallest details. For example, to keep the stereotypical Barbie in the script, even though Mattel asked to replace this definition with a less negative word. Greta Gerwig's task was to create a comedy that would support and embrace the audience. To make the viewers feel the sincerity and love embedded in the story of a plastic doll, Gerwig used child home videos of the actress and the film crew in one of the most tender scenes. In an era of endless remakes and reboots, Barbie managed to prove that it's possible to create mass entertainment that is still unique, handcrafted, and an authorial work. This simultaneously sentimental and joyful film not only encourages its heroine, but also its viewers not to be afraid to look at the world without rose-colored glasses, and see that amidst the pain and fear, there is an abundance of beauty and love. At the end, I want to say that I took the idea and script for this video from the Kino Poesque YouTube channel. I really enjoyed their film analysis, so I wanted to adapt their videos for an English-speaking audience.